Greater Media Broadcast News.
Welcome to another edition of Greater Media Broadcast News. I'm Susie Shia, and here are this week's top headlines from Central New Jersey. It's a costly proposition, but school districts across New Jersey are jumping on the bandwagon of providing full-day kindergarten classes for young learners. About 70% of the state school districts will offer the full-day program this year, and local educators say the longer day leads to a trove of positives, from academic achievement to improved social skills. Even the state government is acknowledging the issue, as the Senate Education Committee is considering a bill that could lead to statewide implementation of the full-day classes. But cash remains as a decisive factor in making the leap from the traditional half-day session, as local taxpayers must foot the bill for more teachers, classrooms, and supplies. And while these issues are debated by local school boards, the decision may ultimately come from Trenton.
The Forcegate Country Club's Forcegate Foundation in Monroe chose Autism Speaks to receive funds from its 2013 Chip-In for Charity fundraiser. The golf outing and evening program raised money to fund autism research and awareness.
We were fortunate to have over 200 golfers come out, and all the net proceeds will benefit the charity.
The event featured music from the Nerds, a silent auction, raffles, and a special appearance from autism awareness advocate and Real Housewives of New Jersey star Jacqueline Larita.
I have a son who's 4 years old who has been diagnosed with autism. And Autism Speaks is one of the first organizations that my husband and I reached out to at the beginning of our autism journey. They just have so many resources on their website that have really helped us a lot. Their 100-day kit was very useful because, you're looking for, a highlighted map of where you should go, what to do next once your child is diagnosed. And there really isn't such a map because each child is very unique and they require their own individual path. But Autism Speaks gave you a good outline of, resources and things to look into to research for your own child.
With Greater Media Newspapers, I'm Stella Morrison.
Those of you with pets know how attached we can become and how devastating it can be if one goes missing. And it doesn't have to be a kitten or a puppy to be loved. Here's Mark Rosman with a story about the search for a more unusual pet.
Readers of the News Transcript this week will find an offbeat article with a dateline of Freehold Township. Johan, an African leopard tortoise, lives with a family in Freehold Township and has lived with them for more than a decade. Unfortunately, in early July, Johan, who lives in the backyard, made his way out of the backyard and has been missing ever since. The family really misses their beloved pet and has offered a reward with the hope that somebody, somewhere, will find this family pet and return it to them. I point you to the News Transcript this week, and you can take a look at Johan, and if anybody out there finds him, that family would love to have him back. In another article you'll find this week in the News Transcript, it's our feature, Who's Who in Our Neighborhoods. We take a look at a brand new principal of Colts Neck High School, Dan Simon. Simon was most recently the superintendent of schools in Wall Township, but now he's come over to the Freehold Regional High School District and is looking forward to working with the students and staff at Colts Neck High School. Read all about it in this week's News Transcript.
A group of Metuchen is looking to make the world more green by sharing their ideas. Here's Amy Rosen.
If you're an eco-conscious person with ideas about how to save our planet, you might want to attend the next meeting of Metuchen Green Drinks on September 3rd at Breeze's Cafe in Metuchen. The concept began with a friendly environmental conversation in a pub in London in 1989 and grew to include monthly meetings at locations throughout the world. Metuchen Green Drinks meets on the first Tuesday of every month. The hope is that when like-minded individuals come together to discuss environmental issues, they can take action to affect change for the better. One of the projects the Metuchen Green Drinks is hoping to start is a fixes group in which people with a knack for fixing broken items interact socially while they repair unwanted used appliances. The repaired items are then resold for just the cost of the parts. In the end, it helps members of the community while reducing solid waste that would otherwise end up in landfills. All are welcome to join the conversation at Metuchen Green Drinks. There is no charge to join, just buy a meal, have a drink, and share your eco-friendly thoughts. For more information on Metuchen Green Drinks, check out this week's edition of the Edison Metuchen Sentinel. Back to you, Susie.
And here's a roundup of headlines from this week's papers. Former state senator and East Brunswick Mayor Jack Sinagra died this Monday at the age of 63. During his career, Sinagra was also elected as the chairman of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. The cause of his death was not publicly disclosed. For more information about Sinagra's career, see this week's edition of The Sentinel. The operator of 55 Dunkin' Donuts franchises has agreed to pay almost $200,000 in back wages to 64 employees. The company was accused of exempting managers from overtime compensation and using tips to cover register shortages. The franchises include locations in Edison, Marlboro, Old Bridge, and more. Officials in Monroe Township are reviewing plans for a major development project on Route 33. The marketplace at Monroe would see nearly 120,000 square feet of retail units and almost 800 housing units. Concerns over the development's impact on traffic and schools are expected to be addressed when hearings continue in September. The Hurricane Sandy Rebuilding Task Force has recently released its rebuilding strategy, which would guide billions of dollars in federal funds toward planning initiatives. The 200-page report lays out dozens of recommendations for federal, state, and local agencies. To see some of these suggestions, pick up The Independent or The Hub. The Pearl Street Development Project is in the works. Here's Jessica D'Amico with an update.
Plans are moving along for a major development in downtown Metuchen. Years in the making, the Pearl Street Piazza would consist of shops, including a greengrocer and restaurant, 249 apartments, and an outdoor public plaza on what is currently a borough-owned parking lot. Developer Woodmont Properties plans to target the residential units to young professionals who would use the adjacent train station. A 5-level parking deck would accommodate residents as well as commuters. The developer is expected to bring its proposal before the planning board later this year or in early 2014. For the latest news on this project, see this week's edition of The Sentinel. Back to you, Susie.
Local residents are planning to make a stride for breast cancer research. Here's Nicole Antonucci.
The American Cancer Society is making strides against breast cancer with its 5K walk on October 20th at Point Pleasant Beach. The walk is one of 300 that occur throughout the country each year to help raise funds for research and support for people with breast cancer. The American Cancer Society expects the Point Pleasant walk to help more than 7,000 people who are diagnosed with breast cancer in New Jersey each year. Getting involved starts by creating a team, joining an existing team, or simply signing up to walk as an individual. The next step, set a fundraising goal and collect funds until the day of the walk. For more information on how to get involved, visit gmnews.com.
Hey, honey, you promise to love this man all night long?
I do.
You promise to love her tender?
Oh, yeah.
Well then, man, go ahead and kiss the bride.
The perfect engagement and bridal gifts, even when you'd have the king marry you.
A proposed natural gas port off the coast of New Jersey and New York continues to gain controversy. Keith Hugh Miller has the story.
Liberty Natural Gas's application to build a natural gas port 24 miles off the coast of Long Branch continues to draw the ire of area environmentalists and elected officials alike. More than 10,000 public comments on the application were submitted to federal agencies in the last 2 months, and last week State Senator Jennifer Beck introduced a resolution calling on officials throughout New York and New Jersey to join her in opposing the application. In this week's Independent, Hub, and Atlanticville newspapers, we discussed the connection between Liberty's port and a similar port located off the coast of the UK, which some area activists say will open the door to dangerous fracking operations throughout our region. We also speak with Liberty CEO Roger Whelan, who says the port will only serve to import natural gas from foreign nations like Trinidad and Tobago, and will serve Long Island customers with much-needed supplies of natural gas.
A camp that has been giving underprivileged kids a chance to flourish may be facing challenges of its own. Here's Amy Rosen with the full story.
Camp Kitty Keepwell is located within Roosevelt Park in Edison. The camp has been providing a free summer camp experience to Middlesex County children in need for many years.
And the camp has been here for 81 years helping underprivileged kids. And we're in the middle of a capital campaign. We're going to remove the old health center and build a brand new one. The flow of the building will work better. It'll be able to help the staff that we have here. We have nurses 24/7 while we have camp here. So it's something that we need to do, and we're hoping that the community can help us raise about $250,000 for our capital campaign for this new facility and to upgrade our cabins.
In addition to providing a stress-free environment and summer activities, the camp has a strong emphasis on teaching proper nutrition and providing healthy food in its dining room.
A lot of these kids outside of here wouldn't have a chance to have camp, have fun. Their lives are pretty stressful, so I felt this would be great to, give them something that they deserve that they don't get so often.
My name is
This is Amy Rosen for Greater Media Newspapers.
For more in-depth coverage and additional stories, pick up your Greater Media newspaper today. This is Susie Shia. Thanks for tuning in.